Now, with the recent addition of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta coming into Dragon Ball Legends, people are trying to figure out who is better on Gaki, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, Super Saiyan God Vegeta, or Gogeta Blue. And in this video, I'm gonna give my opinion on which I think is better on Gaki. Let's get the video started. Alright, so let's talk about God Vegeta first. So what's his pros? He does a lot of strike damage. So with his Zenkai stats at 282 strike attack, and plus the amount of strike buffs that he gets from his main ability, 40%, his damage capability, his automatic damage inflicted with 50% if his health is higher than your enemy's health. Also with his other uniques where he gains 30% to damage inflicted when he changed covers, after he changed covers, and also once the battle starts, he also gains 20% damage inflicted. So he's gonna deal a lot of strike damage. Also, his green and blue cards also gives him strike damage, while his blue card gives him 25% strike damage inflicted for 20 counts upon activation. His green card, while reducing his next damage sustained by 20%, also gives him 20% strike damage inflicted for 20 counts. So if you were to combine everything with his strike damage and damage inflicted, his strike damage will do his strike damage will do 185% per card. And that's just not counting the combo compensation, because with combo compensation, you know, it could reduce the damage a little bit, but 185% to strike damage, that's really good, especially combine that with his 280-ish strike attack and his stats. So that's a lot of strike damage though. So yeah, I mean, pretty good right there. Now, another of his pros is his cover change. The fact that he could cover change against strike or blast, you know, that's really good. And then comboing off with his blue card, you're gonna deal a ton of damage with that combo. So that's another perk with him. And another thing too is his fast main ability. The fact that after 5 timer counts, you could just pop his main, really good. And then the last thing about is his level 1 card draw speed. So that factors in with one of his uniques. After he changed cover, he gains level 1 card draw speed after the combo ends against your enemy. So, which is kind of good, because even like tap attacks and tap blasts, it gives him card draw speed as well. So really good for God Vegeta right here. So yeah. So what if his cons? So his cons is after mid game, or should I say the middle of mid game to end game, he becomes kind of useless, right? He pretty much becomes a Rise and Rush fodder, because all his damage comes from early game pretty much. And also the fact that he gains +3 sub count is kind of not good. Now yes, you could compensate that with Vado's green card, but then that'll be 10 counts. That'll be just your standard, while your other units could get 7 counts after sub count, after they switch out. So I think I don't like that, me personally, because personally, since I like to switch around with my units a lot, I feel like I should have more freedom to switch around with my units. And if I'm restricted because of this God Vegeta adding an extra +3 sub count, that's not good. Because, for example, you want God Vegeta to tank pretty decently, right? But then he can't really tank if you have a high sub count. And there's other characters in the game that can manipulate your sub count. So that 13 sub count timer that you have could be up even more depending on your matchup. So yeah, that's his cons right there. Oh, and the last thing about his con is the fact that in order for him to draw a strike card, gain ki, and also gain 50% damage inflicted for 20 counts, his health has to be higher. So if your health is not higher than your opponent's health, you're not gonna gain that unique ability. So literally, if your health is lower than your enemy's health, you're only gonna get 3 out of the 4 unique abilities. And that first unique ability, yes, is very strong, but at the same time, it becomes useless if your opponent's health is higher than yours. So yeah, that will be for Vegeta. Now we're gonna talk about Gogeta Blue. Alright, so Gogeta Blue. So what is his pros? He does a lot of damage, bro. Like, let me tell you guys how much damage he does. So let's start with his basics. So he gains 60% damage inflicted, can be cancelled. He also gonna gain 20% damage inflicted for 20 counts when he enters the battle. Also, he gains 25% damage to PO, powerful opponent, He also gains 10% damage inflicted up to 50 every time he uses a strike and blast card. Well, when it lands your enemies. The same thing with his ultimate damage. His ultimate damage gains 5% per strike and blast cards hit. So that's another thing. He also, in his blast cards, he also has blast damage inflicted against enemies' armor. So blast armor units, if they blast armor through your yellow cards, your blast cards, you're gonna gain an extra 100% blast damage. So yeah, he also gains another 30% damage inflicted for 15 counts when he uses his blue card. His green card, I'll touch about it later on. And then his ultimate, he deals 30% damage, ultimate damage for 3 counts. So really good damage. So if I were to total the damage inflicted in total, including the green card, 210% damage inflicted if you account all his unique abilities, his blue card and his green card, which is insane. So now let me talk about the green card real quick. Literally, if you land this green card, you win. You're killing a unit, literally. So green card, reduce damage received by 30% for 5 timer counts upon activation. Decent, right? But then, all right, let's say you activate the green card. What it does: draws a strike card, restores own key by 40%, 50% damage inflicted for 10 counts. It also cancels your enemy attribute upgrades and inflict all enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts. Dude, Gogeta green card is insane. But obviously you have to land it, which when I go over my cons, that's another con for that's one of the cons for Gogeta Blue. So yeah. So yeah, also like I stated, he builds up his damage pretty quickly upon landing a strike and blast card, so really good. And of course his ultimate deals so much damage. So let's talk about the ultimate real quick. His ultimate deals supreme damage, also plus 30% to ultimate damage for 3 counts, nullify endurance as well, with also blast armor. So pretty good unit, right? So yeah, so the thing about Gogeta Blue, especially when he first released, right? People, I wouldn't say, people felt underwhelmed because of Vegeta Blue. So when Vegeta Blue first came into the game, he was broken, absolutely broken. And then people thought, oh, if Vegeta Blue was broken, when Gogeta Blue, whenever he comes out, he's gonna be broken too, right? But that wasn't the case. But then people thought he was crap, which he wasn't. And after the months went by, and as people either pulled him or people who pulled him and got him into a higher star count, people started realizing the power and the unreal potential of Gogeta Blue. Yes, he does need stars, but at the same time, he is insane. So yeah, his ult deals. Let me make a quick cut to tell you how much his ult deals at his best. So at his best, right? If you obviously use the green card, use the blue card at the same before all the timer counts elapse. Also, if you built up his damage, where you build up his unique, you build up all his damage, and when he comes into the battlefield, all that in that small little time window, his ult is gonna deal 270% damage, and then when you face against powerful opponent, extra 25% damage inflicted. So that's a total of 295 damage inflicted, dude. That's a lot. And let's not even get me started with his main ability, because his main ability, right, he gains attribute upgrade minus 100% to enemies sustained damage cut effects for 30 counts. So you're gonna deal a fuck ton of ultimate damage to your enemy. So yeah. And the last little pro to give Gogeta Blue is not only when you pop his main, he nullifies on attribute downgrades and abnormal condition for 30 counts, but every time he comes into the battle, he's gonna gain automatically 10% health restored to his health. Really, just as a baseline, because some characters, like the next character we're gonna talk about, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, he gains health throughout his green card and also his main ability, just like Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue, when he pops main ability, he also gains 30% health. Cool, but to top it all off, every time Gogeta Blue comes in, he automatically just gains 10% health, which is literally a green card to a lot of the standard sparkings nowadays. So Gogeta Blue, he's just gonna heal a ton, and obviously with Vados giving him more heals, he's just gonna heal a massive ton. So yeah, I think we're gonna talk about the cons right now. All right, so the con for Vegeta Blue. So one of the cons, like the next unit con, is in order for him to be really darn good, you need stars on him, which is kind of unfortunate with a lot of the units who are good at lower star count but becomes better at a higher star count. As God Key especially, like the LF units are always going to be predicated to get higher stars, so that's one of the cons. The second con is his green card. Although it's one of the most powerful green cards in the game, it's a con because if you don't land it, Gogeta Blue is just gonna be exposed. Like the moment that you activate your green card and you don't, and the counter doesn't trigger, they're pretty much gonna be taking a lot of damage. Or if your opponent has like a meta defining red unit like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and the Super Gogeta, you're just gonna get you're pretty much gonna die against them. Or even Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the GT Zenkai, like if you do the green card, he catch it and you don't land it, he's gonna catch it with a blast card, and then about three hits you're gonna die with his blast cards, or he's gonna blast card you and then activate his ultimate and you're gonna die. So that's one of the cons with Gogeta Blue. And then his last con, in my opinion, is the fact that you have to build up his damage, although it will be rather quickly, although it'll take a tiny bit of time to build up his damage. So that's one of his cons. It's not like he just comes into the battle automatically, I'm just gonna destroy you. It does take a little bit of time to build up his damage inflicted, but once he's built up, oh, you're gonna see a world with hurt. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about Evolution Blue Vegeta. Alright, so now Evolution Blue Vegeta. What is his pros? Infinite Ki. Hold on, let me go closer to the mic. You see, usually with LF, there's usually one or two things that will define the difference of the LF. So with Gogeta Blue, he has the green counter. With Vegeta Blue, not Vegeta Blue, with Evolution Blue Vegeta, what makes him LF, like what defines him as an LF character, is his Infinite Ki. The fact that he pretty much has Infinite Ki is literally ridiculous. Every time he has 35 Ki or lower after using an arts card, he automatically gains 20 Ki and also 25% to damage inflicted. He also has the Kid Buu effect, where when he comes when he comes into the battle, he automatically gains 90% damage inflicted, which cannot be cancelled, and also reduced damage received by 30%, which also cannot be cancelled. Also, he does have this cool little effect where against revival units, when he pretty much triggers the enemy's revival animation, pretty much, he also gains nullification against unfavorable element factors for 30 counts, and also reduces the enemy's Dragon Balls by 2, which is pretty nifty, not too shabby, right? Also, here's another thing that can pretty much define the unit. So every time the enemy switches out, so that's including when they die, because when your enemy dies, another unit comes in. So every time the enemy switches out, he randomly draws one more card if he has 3 or fewer counts, which is gonna happen a lot of the times. And also he gains an extra 20% damage inflicted for 15 counts. So yeah, he's a snowball character. Like once his unique ability starts triggering, you're gonna see the damage racking up just like that, dude. Like this guy is no joke. Like this dude is nice. He also has a cover change against blast cards, and then for one time only, when he cover changes, he automatically gains a blue card. So your enemy cover changes doesn't even if you don't trigger the cover change animation thing, even if he just cover changes regularly against like a strike card or a blue card, he's still gonna gain the blue card automatically, so, which is really good. His green card is one of the better green cards in the game, where he randomly draws a card, restores his own health by 10%, also gains 25 damage inflicted for 30 counts, which cannot be cancelled and can be stacked, and also he gains reduced damage received by 20% for 30 counts, which cannot be stacked or cancelled. So if you pop the green card, right? Also, with him coming into the battle, he's automatically gonna get 50% damage, reduced damage, and also when he cover changes, he gets another 20% reduced damage. So in total, he's actually gonna get 70% damage, reduced damage. If you pop the green and you switch him back out to cover change, 70% reduced damage. So yeah, another cool feature about him is his main ability, right? Because his main ability, he gains 35% health, and then plus 20% to special move, awaken, and ultimate damage inflicted by allies for 30 counts, which is really good because it's not only affecting you, it's also affecting your allies as well with the buff. So really good. And also he has a standard nullify enemies special action, so like enemies cover change for 10 counts, which is really awesome. And then his ultimate, really good as well because he does supreme damage, of course, plus 20% damage inflicted for 3 counts, applies attribute upgrade to minus 50% sustained damage cut, as well as nullification and also blast armor. So yeah, pretty good. He's gonna snowball a lot, so that's one of his pros. It's definitely infinite key, snowballing. So damage, he's gonna ramp up his damage extremely quickly, and also his card gaining with your enemy switching out, and also his green card. So now we're gonna talk about his con. So his first con is obviously, like I said before, about Gogeta Blue. He needs stars to become even better. That's usually the case with God Key units, but yeah, that's how it is. And another thing is he doesn't have a card draw speed, which I forgot to mention about Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue doesn't have card draw speed. That will be one of his cons as well. So yeah, Evolution Vegeta doesn't have a card draw speed, but he does have different ways to gain cards. So that's one thing. And then also the thing is, key is not an issue for him because, like I said before, he literally has infinite key, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I think another of his con is definitely his tankiness, because he, as his kid, right, you would think, oh, he would tank decently well, right? But him tanking, I mean, he could tank decently well, but he definitely has inconsistency of his tanking. So that's one of his cons right there. And I think his last con is his effect against revival units. Obviously, when we get more revival units that unique, is going to be much better. Same thing, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta problem is that type of unique. But as for now, that we only have 3 revival units, which is Perfect Cell, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Since we only got those 3 revival units, you won't get. I mean, you will get definitely against the Gohan and revival Goku, definitely so. But I think I'd rather have Super Saiyan 4 revival mechanic better, because I do like gaining +2 Dragon Balls instead of reducing your enemy's Dragon Ball by 2, because I'd rather have an advantage just to make sure I could get Rise and Rush faster than my opponent not having a Rise and Rush. I'd rather do that, in my opinion. So out of the 3, who would I use in Gaki? This is a tough one between Evolution Blue Vegeta and Gogeta Blue, because those 2 units are very neck and neck. I think Gogeta is probably the worst out of the 3 in my opinion. He has a lot of negatives between the 3, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, his cover change is nice and all, and his strike damage, he could definitely deal a lot of strike damage, but I think his negatives outweigh his pros. So that's my opinion. But yeah, Evolution Blue Vegeta and Gogeta Blue. If I were to choose, right, I'm probably gonna say I would choose Evolution Blue Vegeta only because of what he does. Like, his snowballing effect is insane. His infinite key, I think that will last until the test of time. He does really good damage throughout. Same thing with Gogeta Blue. Yes, Gogeta Blue will deal more damage than Evolution Blue Vegeta. That is true. And as well, his all damage, every type of damage, Gogeta Blue will deal way more than Evolution Vegeta. But I think because of his infinite key, the fact that he draws cards every time your enemy switches, he draws card with his green. He has a lot of ways to gain cards, so he's gonna, even Evolution Blue Vegeta will do a lot of damage as well. And another con with Gogeta Blue, like I said it before, is his green card. If you land his green card, he's better than Evolution Blue Vegeta. But if you don't land his green card, he's gonna be worse than Evolution Blue Vegeta. So because of this high risk, high reward type ordeal, and so I feel like Evolution Blue Vegeta is more safer than Gogeta Blue. But literally to me, they are neck and neck. Like, you could argue for both, and I won't be mad at all. And the good thing about God Vegeta is he's gonna Zenkai both of them. So if you have all three of them, good for you. You have options. So yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate y'all. It means a lot. And comment down below what you guys are thinking are better for God Key. Is it Gogeta Blue? Is it God Vegeta? Or is it Evo Vegeta? So yeah, that's it for the video. That's my opinions, like I stated. And other than that, yeah, if you're new, subscribe. I'm trying to grow. Leave a like, and like I already stated, comment down below who you think is better on Gaki. And yeah, my name is Skull Royal. Quick reminder, tier list will be on Sunday around 12 o'clock. Definitely watch that, give that a go. And yeah, you guys have a good one. Peace.